Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about a little bit more of a serious topic, and I'm going to be talking about suicide and schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. So I just want to start this video off by saying that if you are thinking about or contemplating suicide, there is help, and if you are thinking about it, to please call 911 or to go to your nearest hospital. If you're just having problems with mental health and problems with thinking about suicidal ideation or that sort of thing, there are helplines available, and you can just Google mental health helpline followed by your area. So schizophrenia is strongly linked to a higher chance of suicide and suicide attempts. So one aspect about suicide that I want to talk about is the language that we use around it. So a common term used is that someone committed suicide, but it's kind of important to take this out of our language and instead use terms such as the person attempted suicide or that they died by suicide. The term committed comes from when it was against the law to take your own life. And so since the laws have changed, I think it's important to also change the language that we use around it in order to reduce that criminal connotation that comes with committed suicide. So people who attempt or die by suicide are not criminals, and so it's important to not use the term committed suicide when referring to them. So it's a sad reality that up to 40% of people living with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder will attempt suicide, and 1 in 10 people living with schizophrenia or 10% of people with schizophrenia will actually die by suicide. So this is often because they are isolated and don't receive the support that they need. So suicide prevention can sometimes be a little bit more difficult with people living with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder because often impulsiveness can be a result of delusions or hallucinations that they're experiencing. So for example, when I was at the peak of one of my psychotic episodes, I was being commanded by voices to kill myself, and I was trying to appease these voices by any means possible. So I was taking kind of drastic measures and acting fairly impulsively. So some common factors that increase the risk of suicide in people living with schizophrenia include youth. So typically if you're under the age of 30, you're at an increased risk. If you are male, if you are white, if you have never been married, if you have a higher IQ than typical, or if you were thriving before your diagnosis. So if you're doing really well in school or had a really good job or a good family life before your diagnosis and that kind of changed following your diagnosis, you're at an increased risk. You also may be at an increased risk if you have a history of alcohol abuse or other substance abuse, or if you have a history of previous suicide attempts. Some contributing factors to why someone with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder may decide to take their own life can include just a general sense of hopelessness or a general sense of worthlessness that the person may be feeling. Social isolation is another big one, and lacking support from other people in their life. So the first 2 times that I attempted suicide, I was fairly isolated, and this played probably a pretty big part in terms of actually going through with it. Worsening health can also be another contributing factor. So if their health is deteriorating as a result of the illness, that can definitely be a contributing factor to why someone might decide to take their own life. Recent loss or rejection can also be another one, as well as family stress or instability. Also, the fear that their mental health condition could worsen is another contributing factor. I think the biggest thing that I want you to take away though by watching this video is the importance of early intervention. So for me, when I attempted suicide, I let it get to a really critical point. I waited to get help, and I isolated myself, and I basically just kept it from people in my life and from the healthcare professionals that were trying to help me. So had I not done this, the situation may have ended differently, and I maybe would have been able to get help earlier. So opening up about your mental health struggles and your thoughts of suicide can be a really, really scary thing to do, and can be really difficult because it requires so much vulnerability on your part. But it can be done. It's important to know that there are people who want to help you and who are able to provide you with the help that you need. If you are worried about someone in your life who you think may be thinking about suicide, just ask them. Do not be afraid to go there. So if you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, I just want you to know that I have been there too, and you are not alone in your struggles. Following my suicide attempt, I went for a period of time wishing that I hadn't been stopped. But I've gotten to a point now where I realized one day that I was extremely happy that my counselor intervened and that I was able to be taken to the hospital. So it's not going to be forever. So again, if you are struggling with thoughts of suicide, please reach out to someone. Call 911 or go to your nearest hospital, or call a mental health helpline in your area. There are people who are ready and willing to help you through this. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to learn more about schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, please check out some of the other videos that I made and make sure to subscribe for future videos. Thanks again for watching and have a great day. Bye.